Youngstown State beat Purdue-Fort Wayne 72-67 on Thursday to get to this point. And for Cleveland State, this is their 5th consecutive year in the Horizon League semifinals. So this is a program that has been used to getting to this point, and we'll see what they have in store tonight against the Penguins. Here we go on the opening possession, controlled by Cleveland State, but only briefly as Nico Gillette gets the steal, and back the other way quickly come the Penguins as Jawan Maxey goes to the basket but misses.
Well, the pace could get up and down quickly, especially if Youngstown State is able to create some turnovers. In that first possession, Cleveland State was looking for the lob, but it just wasn't open, and Abrima Diba just threw it without even recognizing that. So Cleveland State, known for forcing turnovers, but they got to take care of the ball themselves.
Cleveland State in their starting five. Reese Robinson has started a lot of the year. He's been out since the Oakland game, February 23rd, with a knee injury and remains out tonight. Stop for the Penguins, and now the Youngstown State lineup without E.J. Farmer in the lineup. Ty Harper, as you mentioned, has been big, but misses the three here.
Going to be some nerves, even in our first game tonight. There was definitely some nerves, a lot of adrenaline pumping. Both teams a little sloppy to start, but both of these teams will get after each other defensively. That ball pressure will be constant the entire night.
Isaac Abide starting in place of Robinson, up to Dylan Arnett, the junior out of Chicago. 5 to shoot now for Cleveland State here early on in this ball game, looking for the first points. Arnett floats it up there, never got it close to the rim, and it comes out on a rebound to Youngstown State.
The Youngstown State had Cleveland State playing at about 35 feet that entire possession. But again, you see on the other end as well, Cleveland State's really going to get after the ball.
And now Nico Gillette fades and misses. And almost 2 minutes gone by, and both teams still looking for that first point. Abrima Diba down the lane, doesn't score much, misses there.
Somebody has to score at some point here, right?
I hope so. If nobody scores, it's going to be a long night. Gillette going to work against Tevin Smith. Gets between two defenders. Staveski the block, and now the miss by Harper out of bounds to Cleveland State.
Not the cleanest start offensively for either team, to put it mildly, but that's actually to be expected. The game we had a couple of weeks ago at Cleveland State, it was low scoring, 68-60, and the only reason it really even got to 68 is a lot of fouling at the end. So both these teams are going to make it extremely difficult for the other to score, especially for Youngstown without E.J. Farmer in that lineup.
Diba down low, finds Dylan Arnett, and the lid's off the basket.
What did we talk about earlier today? Dylan Arnett is the guy that can be the difference maker in this game. Now, Gabe Dines, 7'3" sophomore, when he comes in the game, he changes everything. But with this lineup that the Penguins have in right now, Dylan Arnett should get a touch on the block every single time down.
I saw Dylan Arnett have a lot of success down the stretch this season, particularly the last couple of games in the regular season of the Horizon League, couple 20-point games. Now a miss for the Penguins, and back the other way comes Cleveland State with Diba. Cleveland State, 4 straight 20-win campaigns. Tevin Smith, the miss on the three, and the rebound to Youngstown State. On the other side, the Penguins have won 20 games each of the last 3 seasons. As both of these coaches in this one have taken over from previous coaches and built on their success. Danielle Robinson has done an outstanding job, already 63 victories in 3 years with this Cleveland State program, taking over for Dennis Gates, who was able to resurrect the Viking program before leaving for Missouri.
Dennis Gates obviously did a phenomenal job getting this Vikings program back to the top of the Horizon League. You see Chris Carroll knocking down the three. But Danielle Robinson has done an unbelievable job of just picking up right where Dennis Gates left off and continuing the hot trend that they've had getting to this semifinal part of the Horizon League tournament. It's the 5th year in a row, you mentioned it, that they've been here. So just consistency year in, year out from the Vikings.
They just shoot. Tevin Smith tried to get it inside for Diba. It's taken away by Sima Utendahl. Seam starting in place of the injured E.J. Farmer. Now Carroll, another three from the wing. That won't go. On the other side, it's a Youngstown State team under first-year head coach Ethan Faulkner, who's picked up right where Jared Calhoun left off. And has this team in the semifinals in year one. And now Harper fouled by Dylan Arnett, and it brings us to our first timeout on the floor. 3-2, low scoring to start, 15:30 to go first half. Game 2 in Indianapolis.
Phillips Norelco One Blade presents Shave All Things. Your style made simple with Phillips Norelco One Blade 360.
Let's start the bidding at $5 million. Thank you, sir.
These people of privilege, hoarding the financial advantages for far too long.
7.5 at the back.
Look at them, unaware that Robin Hood Gold members now enjoy the VIP treatment.
$10 million on the
The
right.
3% IRA match on retirement contributions.
11 million, sir.
Once they discover their privileges are no longer exclusive, their fragile reality will plunge into disarray.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Barbasol Shaving Cream, America's leader for a close, comfortable shave. Back here in downtown Indianapolis at Corteva Coliseum, 3-2 Youngstown State the lead over Cleveland State. And Ethan Faulkner, the first-year head coach, there he is, peeking out around his players. Took over for Jared Calhoun and has done an outstanding job. Most wins by a first-year head coach in Youngstown State basketball history. Now, he was on the staff for the last 5 years under Calhoun. He's a Northern Kentucky graduate and worked under Jared and took over this program. What impresses me about Ethan Faulkner is he said, look, there are things that maybe I want to do a little bit different with this program, but we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We've got a good thing going at Youngstown State. The last 3 years have been their most successful seasons as a Division I program. So they're just looking to build on that success, and he has certainly done that this year with a 20-12 record and finishing 13-7 in the league.
Jared Calhoun, who's done a phenomenal job at Utah State, by the way, this year, did a great job resurrecting this Penguins program. We had a chance to do a couple of games there over the 3 years that Jared Calhoun, or the last 3 years that Jared Calhoun was there, and talk about a great environment, just unbelievable. But Ethan Faulkner is really very similar to what Danielle Robinson did when Dennis Gates left, just kind of kept it going right where it was. And big reason why they're here in the semifinals again this year.
Jason Nelson knocks that one out of bounds. There's Jay-Sean Stevenson checked into the game, the Horizon League Freshman of the Year. 6 times this season was named Horizon League Freshman of the Week. Now goes to Stevenson with 10 to shoot for the Vikings. Fades and fires, that won't go. And there's Gabe Dines, the big 7'3" sophomore from Independence, Kentucky, who leads the nation in shot blocking this year with 96. Horizon League All Defensive Team selection.
Good job there by Dylan Arnett of pushing Dines out to the perimeter, not even allowing him to get near the rim.
Carroll trying to get to the bucket, but draws the foul. Chase Robinson picking up his first personal foul.
Cleveland State has, as great as they are defensively, one of the things that you give up when you pressure the ball as much as they do is you can give up driving lanes. And they have had some struggles at times this year guarding off the bounce, and they don't have much of a shot blocking presence down there. Dylan Arnett is okay, but he's not a natural shot blocker, so they have had trouble giving up the paint and sending teams to the free throw line. Youngstown State, a team that will put a lot of constant pressure on the rim.
Carroll knocks down 2 free throws. Carroll 5 early points. The junior transferred in from Coffeyville Community College has done a real nice job with this Youngstown State team. A lot of new faces for YSU after the coaching change. Dave Dines and E.J. Farmer were back this season. Taj Tedeschi trying to get into the paint, puts it high over Dines, can't get it to go, but Nelson comes up with it for YSU. And now the Penguins will bring it across.
Gabe Dines didn't block that shot, but he definitely altered it a little bit, and that's hard to keep as a stat, but you mentioned it. Leading the country in blocked shots, but if you could keep track of shots altered as well, I'm sure he would be leading the country in that. You just know driving in there that he's back there looming somewhere, and so you think twice about what normally would be an easier layup.
Dines already has the third most blocks in Youngstown State's basketball history, and he's only a sophomore with 156. And now 5 to shoot, and he sets the screen for Harper. 2 seconds. Harper at the buzzer, misses the three. Dines just reaches up to grab it, and now Nelson into the lane and draws the foul.
Second chance opportunities, forced a tough three at the end of the clock, but Gabe Dines coming up with the offensive rebound. And he was a huge reason why Youngstown State was able to get the win on the road in Cleveland earlier this season. His presence on both ends of the court being felt already.
Jason Nelson, a key player off the bench for Youngstown State. He has had 13 starts in 30 games this year. Misses the first free throw. Gabe Dines, he got that rebound. The key for Youngstown State, David, I think, is to keep him on the floor. As impactful as he is, the one thing that the Penguins have struggled with is when he gets into foul trouble.
Yeah, he's a difference maker. And when we were talking to Danielle Robinson yesterday, he said he thought that he was the difference in the game for him. Now, Cleveland State did not play well offensively in that last matchup as Nelson misses both free throws. But Gabe Dines was a huge difference maker, and you're right. When he stays out of foul trouble, especially in a game like this where if you're guarding Dylan Arnett, who's not a three-point shooter, he could basically just play a one-man zone down there. Doesn't even really have to come out and defend.
Last game between the two, a 68-60 win for Youngstown State in Cleveland. The two teams split their regular season matchups with each winning the road game. Ty Harper picking up his first personal foul. Chase Robinson threw it away. Nico Gillette gets the steal. Gillette the kick out. Nelson got his man in the air. Now they go into the post for Dines, who's double teamed. 10 to shoot for the Penguins of Youngstown State. 4 seconds to shoot. Gillette may not know it. 2 seconds. Puts it up at the buzzer and misses.
Good possession there by Cleveland State. Did a great job of flying around, not allowing anything easy. Great job on the closeouts, but they just got to find out where they're going to get their offense from in this game.
And there's a block for Dines. That could be the first of many tonight. Gillette into the paint and a foul called. Chase Robinson picking up his second.
Well, Dylan Arnett has been very successful this season on the screen and roll, but when you got a 7-3 guy in there, it changes everything. And we've talked about it. We've had Cleveland State. This is our 5th time this year covering them. And as great as they are defensively, they just have a tendency to go on these droughts where they just cannot score, and they don't really know where to turn to score. And right now, 2 points only in the first 7.5 minutes of this game. Now, give Youngstown State a ton of credit. They are defending lights out. But it has been an issue at times for the Vikings where their points going to come from. Right now, Youngstown State is just locking it down defensively.
Got a baseball score here early. As Gillette back to the line. And you talk to anyone in the Horizon League right now about Youngstown State, and the first thing they will tell you is how well Nico Gillette has been playing for the Penguins. And now a foul. That shot will not count.
You're going to get a travel on Gabe Dines there.
Excuse me, yep.
Trying to pass it out off the offensive rebound and just took an extra step.
Gabe Dines the travel, and so turnover by the Penguins. Youngstown State has kept Cleveland State at bay. Vikings need some points. Cole Franklin in off the bench. Can't get that to fall. And now a whistle. And Franklin going to be called for the foul. You talked about shots altered. How about that shot? He saw Dines in the lane and then hesitated on the shot and missed.
You just think twice about it. I mean, you know he's back there. And already 5 team fouls for Cleveland State. Going to apply a little bit of full court pressure here, see if they can force a turnover. But so far in this game, Youngstown State with only 1 turnover in the first 8 minutes. So if you're Ethan Faulkner, you got to be pleased with how your team's taking care of the basketball and defending. Got to get it over here.
Juwan Maxey had to race across. Maxey driving left baseline, knocked out of bounds by Smith. Tevin Smith, 7th in the Horizon League in shot blocking. Cleveland State trailing 6-2 here early in a pitcher's duel.
Donnie came in today munching on a bag of this.
Seen them in Chicago, too. Up and down the L.
Dio mio.
They aren't pizza. But they are delicious.
This Cheetos pizza thing, it changes everything.
Hey, you guys try these? Pretty tasty.
Hey, Donnie, don't you got someplace to be?
Cheetos Cheese Pizza Puffs. Proud to be the second best pizza thing.
Sweet kid.
Let's start the bidding at $5 million. Thank you, sir.
These people of privilege, hoarding the financial advantages for far too long.
7.5 at the back.
Look at them, unaware that Robin Hood Gold members now enjoy the VIP treatment.
$10 million on the
A
right.
3% IRA match on retirement contributions.
$11 million, sir.
Once they discover their privileges are no longer exclusive, their fragile reality will plunge into disarray.
Tournament is going on. The Credit Union 1 WCC Men's Championship going on as well in Las Vegas. And then the West Coast Conference, St. Mary's and Pepperdine live on ESPN right now. Gonzaga, San Francisco is at 11:30 Eastern time on ESPN2. And so that should be a great game later tonight. You take a look at our shooting numbers so far, and I would say it's not an oil painting so far. Is that a polite way to put it, David?
Yeah, if you like offense, this probably hasn't been the game for you so far. But hey, we're still early.
Yeah.
But hey, no, in all seriousness, give credit to both teams defensively.
Yeah.
I mean, especially Youngstown State. They've just not allowed Cleveland State to have one easy look yet.
Well, these are two teams that certainly know each other well. The 107th all-time meeting between Cleveland State and Youngstown State. And there's Maxey in the corner knocking it down, and it's 9-2 in favor of the Penguins.
It was a great set on the underneath out of bounds play. They got Ayukdal on the back door, but they put Juwan Maxey in the opposite corner, wide open.
6th in the Horizon League and made threes. Maxey's now with 70 made three-pointers this year. Tarstevsky getting through Ayukdal with a foul call.
Just a great pass from Nico Galette, but an even better pass from Ayukdal. Jalen Maxey knew the way Cleveland State collapses, he's going to be open. A good take by Taj Stefesky. Sometimes when things aren't going your way, you've got to put your head down and say, I'm going to get to the rim. Gabe Dines got pulled away just far enough. Taj Stefesky, some much-needed free throws here for the Vikings.
Stefesky, normally the three-point shooter for this Cleveland State Vikings team. He was named 3rd team All-Horizon League by the league just a few days ago. Averaging 12 points per game this season is Stefesky, but as you said, good free throw shooter at the line and knocks it down.
Gabe Dines going to the bench, so Danielle Robinson elects to have Dylan Arnett come back into the game.
A little bit of defensive pressure from the Vikings here. Now Harper to the corner for Carroll. 9 minutes gone by in our second game, the Horizon League Basketball Championship semifinals. Earlier tonight, top-seeded Robert Morris knocked out Oakland 79-76 in overtime to reach the title game. Maxey a step back three, that won't go. The rebound to Ibrahima Diba.
These two teams are just not giving any easy looks on either end. Very physical, a lot of quickness defensively. Just putting a ton of pressure on the ball. And a great steal by Maxey.
Taking it right away from Staveski. And now Maxey off the glass and scores.
Heck of a finish right there. Trying to draw the contact. Cleveland State defenders did a good job of going straight up. Maxey with the steal and the tough finish.
Cleveland State hasn't had a field goal in 7 minutes. Arnett over Gillette, no. Tip back, no. And the lid remains on the basket for the Vikings. Now Gillette behind the back pass to Carroll, and he draws the foul on Franklin.
Well, a great behind the back bounce pass and a great shot fake by Chris Carroll. Cole Franklin, no choice but to foul there. But Cleveland State has missed 10 field goals in this game and only 1 offensive rebound. So not only is Youngstown State playing really well defensively, but they're cleaning up on the glass.
Some of the association's top teams and players highlight our ESPN NBA Wednesday doubleheader. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Western Conference leading Thunder take on Jason Tatum and the Celtics. 7:30 Eastern. Then Jokic and the Nuggets host Edwards and the Timberwolves. NBA Countdown tips off our coverage at 7 Eastern. Think I have college basketball on the brain?
I think it's way past your bedtime and you're starting to slip mentally, I think is what's going on here.
I mean, that's somewhat valid. Let's see how it goes for the next 2 hours. And now Dylan Arnett finding Tevin Smith. Over Ayudendal, no. Tip back and a foul as Isaac Abide had 2 looks at it and will get to the line.
And that's exactly what you have to do. You got to crash the glass when you cannot get anything going offensively. Great
That's
job there
2 fouls on Harper, too.
Great job there by Abide. It's amazing. When a team loses their best player, their leading scorer, it's amazing what that can do to them sometimes from a rallying standpoint. You know, we mentioned this will be the 7th game in a row that E.J. Farmer has missed. And for Youngstown State to still get to this point, give the coaching staff and the team a ton of credit. Guys have just stepped up, and Siem Ayudendal has really stepped his game up. They look like they are locked in and ready to go tonight.
Abide splits the 2 of the line. And again, some pressure from the Vikings, making it difficult for Youngstown State to cross the floor. Gillette beats the pressure, but misses the layup underneath. And now Diba to Abide, and now skip it to Staveski at the top of the key. 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Youngstown State the early 12-5 lead in this rivalry game between 2 longtime foes in multiple leagues. The HorizonLeague for many years. And now foul. Chris Carroll picking up his first.
That was a great job here. You see, you got 3, maybe close to 4 red shirts there. And Ethan Faulkner and the Youngstown State bench wanted to travel. Ibrahima Diba going to the free throw line and unable to make the first one. But the entire bench for Youngstown State is up on every defensive possession, talking. And you won't find many coaches in the Horizon League, maybe not the country, that work as hard during the possession as Ethan Faulkner. He is down, talking to his guys. And Cleveland State just cannot get anything going right now offensively.
They don't have a field goal in almost 9 minutes. There's Jason Nelson finding Ayudendal. Maxey around the screen from Gillette. 5 to shoot. Going to the lane. Scores on the foul. And Taj Tavesky will pick up the foul.
Well, these guards for Youngstown State are just so quick off the dribble, and you see just a quick hesitation. Taj Tavesky kind of got caught trying to get back in front and was never able to do so. And Juwan Maxey with the finish, chance for the three-point play. Right now, Cleveland State just seems all out of sorts. Even looking over there at the bench, the body loading is just very deflated right now based on how the start of this game has gone. They're going to have to find some kind of spark somewhere.
Maxey rims out of the free throw. Diva stopped the dribble, guarded tightly by Nelson. Finally gets rid of it to Dylan Arnett.
Look where they're trying to initiate their offense. I mean, they're 10 feet behind the three-point line.
Sean Stevenson with some space and finally knocks down a three.
Finally knocked it down because they finally got an open look. That was a great skip pass by Abrima Diba. Sean Stevenson finally giving the Vikings something to get a little energy about here. As poor as they've played, they're still only down 6 points.
Right. Both teams have been real good defensively. Carroll tried to throw it to Dines. Gabe grabs it and lays it in.
They came over and trapped Carroll from the baseline side. Cleveland State tried to rotate over, but Gabe Dines at 7'3". Just got to throw it up near the rim. Did a good job of keeping it up.
First bucket of the night for Dines. Loose on the deck, and a foul is called. Nelson on the floor, but he gets up and appears to be okay. Youngstown State, the 16-8 lead.
Not a lot has gone right offensively for either team, but a great pass by Chris Carroll. Gabe Dines with the finish. Penguins up 8 early here in Indianapolis.
Donnie came in today munching on a bag of this.
Seen him in Chicago, too. Up and down the L.
Vero mio.
They aren't pizza, but they are delicious.
This Cheetos pizza thing, it changes everything.
Hey, you guys rice? Pretty tasty.
Hey, Donnie, don't you got someplace to be?
Cheetos Cheese Pizza Puffs. Proud to be the second best pizza thing.
Sweet kid.
Let's start the bidding at $5 million. Thank you, sir.
These people of privilege, hoarding the financial advantages for far too long.
7.5 at the back.
Look at them,
7.5 at the back.
unaware that Robin Hood Gold members now enjoy the VIP treatment.
$10 million on the
A
right.
3% IRA match on retirement contributions.
11 million, sir.
Once they discover their privileges are no longer exclusive, their fragile reality will plunge into disarray.
Take a look at the ACC men's tournament bracket, and the opening round begins tomorrow, and then the quarterfinals begin on Thursday. Top 4 seeds, number 1 team in the country, Duke, number 1, of course, in that bracket. Your alma mater, and number 2 in Louisville. My alma mater is playing tomorrow night. Try to get out of the basement on Tuesday night, but this is going to be a great tournament, and it always is, and looks like maybe 3-4 teams from the ACC will end up playing in the NCAA tournament.
Well, let's not forget a year ago, North Carolina State was the 10th seed, had to play that first day, and ended up winning the tournament, which got them into the NCAA tournament on the way to a magical Final Four run.
That's right, and one of their wins in the NCAA tournament was over Horizon League champion Oakland in the second round. Out of the timeout, a missed 3 from Maxey. Gabe Dines able to grab the rebound and flings it out, and Diba tips it out of bounds. Nice job by Jason Nelson, too, to have the awareness not to go after it.
Yeah, Gabe Dines kind of got stuck there in the corner, maybe taking a little bit of a shot to the face, but great hustle there by Abrima Diba to try to get back in only 15 seconds here. You got to go the length of the court against the pressure.
Five seconds to shoot. Carroll from the wing for 3. That planks off the side rim. And Stevenson the rebound for Cleveland State. Gets into the paint and over Dines. What a finish for Sean Stevenson.
What a finish is right. Almost scooped it underneath the outstretched arm of Gabe Dines. But I think that's what Cleveland State's going to have to look to do a little bit. When they get a clean stop, and a defensive rebound. Let's go. Push the pace. See if you can score on the break before Youngstown State has a chance to set their defense up.
And Abide picks up the foul.
Jay-Sean Stevenson just putting the ball on the floor. You see, yeah, really going underneath the arm. Great reverse finish with the right hand and just a simple backdoor cut. Great pass. Juwan Maxey drawing the foul and going back to the free throw line for the 12th and 13th free throws already in this game for Youngstown State.
Maxey misses the first.
And only 4 of 12 so far, so they've gotten there, just haven't made them.
Youngstown State at the free throw line. About a 74% free throw shooting team in the regular season, so they're not bad, but 4 of 12, hard to explain here early for the Penguins. Maxey has 8 first half points. Youngstown State a 7-point lead. Abide trying to look for somewhere to go with it. KJ Debrick is going to take a 3 and banks it in. That was only his 6th three-point attempt the entire year and his 2nd make.
Well, we have headphones on, so we couldn't hear it, but I don't think he called bank on that. But you'll take points any way you can get them right now if you're Cleveland State.
Horizon League after dark. You never know. Now Nelson with 5 to shoot. Nelson wide open for 3. Can't get it to go, and the rebound to Deba. Knocked out of bounds off of Wilkerson. And the Vikings will keep it.
If you're Ethan Faulkner here, you're just shaking your head. Dame Dines did exactly what you told him to do. You're not expecting KJ Debrick to shoot that. And finally, something to give the Vikings a little bit of life here. Somehow, as poorly as they've shot the ball, they're only down 4 points in this game.
Absolutely wild. Cleveland State 4 of 15 from the field. Now Debrick again, no. And Dines the rebound.
KJ Debrick actually should have rolled closer to the rim on that. He almost went away from the basket. That was a great pass by Deba.
And now Gillette getting through Abide, missing over Debrick, grabbed the rebound, lost the ball, and Abide gets it. Deba the spin around Maxey. Stevenson blocked by Dines out of bounds.
Jay-Sean Stevenson tried that same finish there. Gabe Dines caught that one, though, with his left hand. Tried to go underneath the outstretched arm, but that time Gabe Dines was ready for it.
What's amazing is some of the blocks that Dines gets, he doesn't even have to move very much to get them. Youngstown State challenging every pass. And there's a steal. Deba lost it spinning into the lane, David.
They're just the more active team right now. I mean, on every pass, the denials are there. Cleveland State can't get anything reversed. Activity with the hands.
Maxey to the corner. Nelson. And Stabeski was on the line. Out of bounds. YSU will keep it. 4:05 to go first half. 17-13, Youngstown State the lead. In our second semifinal game, winner moves on to the Horizon League championship game. Youngstown State has never played in the Horizon League championship game. They are 0-2 in semifinal games, one of which was a couple of years ago when they won the league regular season title under Jared Calhoun. David Wilkerson, the redshirt sophomore from Lansing, Michigan. And he has it taken away by Jay-Sean Stevenson. Down the floor, denied by Gillette. And a timeout with 3:53 to go here in the first half of play in Indianapolis.
Jay-Sean Stevenson with a great steal, but how about the block by Nico Gillette? The Penguins are just locking up on defense, trying to get to the finals tomorrow night.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team.
Donnie came in today munching on a bag of this.
Same in Chicago, too. Up and down the L.
Dear, dear.
They aren't pizza. But they are delicious.
This Cheetos pizza thing, it changes everything.
Hey, you guys rice? Pretty tasty.
Hey, Donnie, don't you got someplace to be?
Cheetos Cheese Pizza Puffs. Proud to be the second best pizza thing.
Sweet kid.
Let's start the bidding at $5 million. Thank you, sir.
These people of privilege, hoarding the financial advantages for far too long.
0.5 at the back.
Look at them, unaware that Robin Hood Gold members now enjoy the VIP treatment.
$10 million on the
A
right.
3% IRA match on retirement contributions.
11 million, sir.
Once they discover their privileges are no longer exclusive, their fragile reality will plunge into disarray.
And yeah, Youngstown State so far creating turnovers, and one of the reasons why they've got the 17-13 lead with 3:53 to go here in this opening half of play. And you see Gabe Dines now at 98 blocks, and Youngstown State 4 blocks, 6 steals, just making everything difficult for the Vikings.
Well, Cleveland State very fortunate to not be down even more. Youngstown State has gotten to the free throw line 13 times, but they've only made 5 of them. So Cleveland State fouling, but Youngstown State just not taking advantage of it. But give Cleveland State credit. When they haven't fouled, they've been pretty good defensively, because from the field, Youngstown State is only shooting 23%.
And so now out of the timeout, Cleveland State basketball. They're 4 of 19 from the field, and another turnover by the Vikings. Just going to ask you, what do you think Daniel Robinson told his team? And you know, you'd hope out of a timeout, you build something, they turn the ball over right away, but they get a stop.
It's a very difficult thing to do, but really, really good teams don't let their offensive woes affect them defensively. And Cleveland State's done a pretty good job so far in this game of hanging in there. But at some point, you just got to wonder. I mean, the frustrations of just not being able to score the basketball. Kevin Smith finally getting on the board. And I think he's the guy that's going to have to look to take over a little bit, because from a one-on-one standpoint, he's their best offensive player. With the way Youngstown's defending right now, they just are not able to get anything going with their sets. They have to be some one-on-one basketball.
Maxey up to the left. Now Ayudendal in the corner. Got a B-Day up in the air. Baseline jumper, no. Daniel Robinson has talked all season about how Cleveland State has to win on the margins. They've got to make those extra plays defensively. Make the extra pass offensively. Find ways to out-hustle their opponent. To their credit, they're only down 2 in a game where they're 5 of 20 from the field. And already turned the ball over 7 times. Tevin Smith, the miss. Cleveland State led this game at 2-0. They've been trailing ever since. The Youngstown State is 5 of 23 from the field.
Like I said, give Cleveland State a ton of credit. I mean, they're continuing to guard, which is impressive.
Golette knocks down a 3.
Youngstown State is a team that on the season has shot about 33% from 3, so not a great three-point shooting team, but they just make big ones. And they've got 3 or 4 guys that can do it, and Golette right there showing the touch from the outside. But you see, again, Cleveland State's trying to get into what they're doing halfway out to the half-court line.
That time, tie up underneath. It'll stay with Cleveland State. Out of bounds as Smith was trying to hit our net. Knocked out off of the Penguins. 1:45 to go here in the first half.
I think Jay Sean Stevenson for Cleveland State's got maybe some kind of cut or a little blood on that elbow. Should get 30 seconds here to get that taken care of.
Yeah, trainer looking at him right now. Jay Sean Stevenson has been huge this year for Cleveland State. And Danielle Robinson has done a great job of identifying players from multiple different stops. And he's been able to bring in some good ones from Chicago. Jay-Sean Stevenson, the freshman, Chicago native, along with Dylan Arnett, who's been in the program now all 3 years for Coach Robinson. We talked about it tonight. Danielle has done such a good job leading this program forward, taking what Dennis Gates built and continuing that consistent success. Cleveland State team that for much of the year led the Horizon League. They had a 13-game winning streak snapped on February 5th.
6 seconds here. Jay-Sean Stevenson's got to go.
And he knocks down the three.
It is amazing to see the progress he has made from the first time we had them back in January to now. He is a different player. You mentioned it, won Freshman of the Year in the Horizon League, but he is not playing like a freshman right now. He is playing with a ton of confidence.
Gillette down the floor, over Arnett. How about that move from Nico Gillette?
Well, he used the rim to protect himself from Isaac Abide, who was guarding him. And then also Dylan Arnett, who came over and tried to block the shot. Just a great finish with the left hand.
Now under a minute to go here in the first half. Stevenson out high, guarded by Nelson. Going to work in the lane. And an offensive foul against Jay-Sean Stevenson. That's going to be the second foul on the freshman.
See Jay-Sean Stevenson just trying to go there. And looked like there was some contact to the head area with that elbow, obviously inadvertent, but the official saw the offensive foul, just maybe a little bit out of control there.
So Stevenson will go to the bench. Coach Robinson doesn't want to pick up a third foul before the end of the half. Inbound goes to Maxey. And Maxey will call a timeout after advancing it to half court. 22-18, Youngstown State the lead. 39 seconds left in the first half. Four-point lead for Youngstown State over Cleveland State. 39.3 seconds remain in the first half. Robert Morris already into the championship game here at the Barbasol Horizon League Basketball Championship. Which of these Ohio schools will meet them there? Will it be Youngstown State or will it be Cleveland State?
You know, it's amazing looking at the first time these teams played each other in January. The final score was 80-72.
Yeah.
Not quite sure we're going to get there tonight.
They're going to need to light it up in the second half for us to get there. Gillette on the wing for three. Rebound Stabeski, shot clock off. I'll tell you what though, if it got to 80-72, that means the second half is going to be incredible. 17.4 seconds left in the half.
Donnie came in today, munching on a bag of this.
Same in Chicago, too. Up and down the L.
Dear mio.
They aren't pizza. But they are delicious.
This Cheetos pizza thing, it changes everything.
Hey, you guys rice? Pretty tasty.
Hey, Donnie, don't you got someplace to be?
Cheetos Cheese Pizza Puffs. Proud to be the second best pizza thing.
Sweet kid.
Let's start the bidding at $5 million. Thank you, sir.
These people of privilege, hoarding the financial advantages for far too long.
7.5 at the back.
Look at them, unaware that Robin Hood Gold members now enjoy the VIP treatment.
$10 million on the
The
right.
3% IRA match on retirement contributions.
11 million, sir.
Once they discover their privileges are no longer exclusive, their fragile reality will plunge into disarray.
Out of the timeout, Youngstown State already back on the floor. Cleveland State talking things over still with Danielle Robinson. Ethan Faulkner trying to get the Youngstown State Penguins to the Horizon League championship game for the first time. They are 0-2 in semifinal appearances. Youngstown State has never reached the NCAA tournament as a Division I program. So you know how badly they want to come out on top tonight and give themselves a chance tomorrow against Robert Morris. Now, Cleveland State won the Horizon League back in 2021 under Dennis Gates, went to the tournament, and they faced Houston in the first round, and that's where their season came to an end. Jay Sean Stevenson with 8 seconds to go in the half. And now a foul called on Sima Utendahl.
Yeah, Youngstown State had a foul to give there, so good execution. Taking that foul, not in the act of shooting.
Utendahl, the 5th year from the Netherlands, transferred in from Canisius. Tyler Staveski, also a Canisius transfer. 4 seconds left in the half. Here's Staveski for 3. That's good. And the first half comes to an end.